Hello, my people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Biafrans, freedom fighters. You can see that we are winning. First of all, let me tell you what the military said. They said the level of insecurity in the north, west, and everywhere, that they cannot be everywhere at the same time. Invariably, they have been reduced in number. People are no longer joining Nigeria army. And then what they are now having, terrorists, and the borders of Nigeria are porous. Because these people have left their work, their job, and they are now pursuing shadow. What is the shadow they are pursuing? People in their own land, indigenous people of Biafra, in their own territory and in their own ancestral land God has given to them. You left your northern area that is so porous, that is close to other Niger and other African dangerous countries. You allow it open, and then people are flooding inside Nigeria. Terrorists are flooding in to take over the north, and you are here pursuing shadow. Now they are crying out, woto that we are giving them in the southeast is not even allowing them to sustain the few number that they had. So hence new people are not joining, and the ones that have joined are dying. What do you expect? Musa is crying out. He said, we cannot be everywhere at the same time. We are not magicians. And now Senate House crying out, are you allowing these people to go? What Simon Ekpa is doing is sounding very clearly on the ears of the Senate, and they are shouting, Senate have this to tell us. Please listen to what Senate is saying.
So if we don't take immediate action, and our citizens under this situation of increased fuel price, increased electricity price, increased everything, and we are yet to get the right measures to provide cushions for our citizens, we wouldn't like the kind of thing that we see in our streets. And it is time that we take every possible action together with the executive arm of government to ensure that food flood our country, the right food. I'm Ahmed Lawan, I represent Yobe North Senatorial District. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, let me commend the movers of this motion and also add here that patience, tolerance is, they are both elastic, but they are not eternally elastic. Our citizens are facing real hunger. I traveled the two states last week, in the north particularly, and I've seen firsthand how people, especially those who are neither in the civil service nor in any business, common everyday citizens, are suffering, fighting, struggling to have food at least once in a day. Under normal circumstances, Mr. President, in the rainy season, from maybe June up to September or October, when there will be harvest of new foodstuff, prices escalate. Price of foodstuff. Now we don't even have. That's the truth. Mr. President, in today's national dailies, the executive arm of government is saying, is considering reducing or removing taxes on imported foodstuff. Mr. President, here's the catch. This Senate must engage the executive immediately. What are the issues? Which taxes are they talking about? Because we should be seen to be doing the right thing. We have really little or nothing in our food reserve across the country. And nobody should come and tell us they will distribute food stuff from our silos. The silos are empty, Mr. President. So it means we have to import food. And if we have to import, it means we need foreign exchange. And that is scarce. We have to engage with administration. We have to help the administration. Mr. President, we are the most vulnerable in the leadership arrangements of this country, members of the National Assembly. Everybody looks up to senators or members of the House of Reps. In fact, people see senators like the messiahs. Any problem, they say, go for a senator. So if we don't take immediate action, and our citizens, under this situation of increased fuel price, increased electricity price, increased everything, and we are yet to get the right measures to provide cushions for our citizens, we wouldn't like the kind of thing that we see in our streets. And it is time that we take every possible action together with the executive arm of government to ensure that food flood our country, the right food. Importation, government must be entirely responsible, because we cannot take people for granted for too long. We have come almost to the end of their patience. And I think the elasticity is now going to snap if we are not careful. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Everybody is concerned. The primary role of government is to ensure the welfare and security of the citizens. And that is the reason why we are here.
I am unable to support the idea. Everything in its totality as captured in this motion, because our commitment to cut down costs, to reduce waste in the public sector, I think it's something that we all share. And when the executive have taken decision, it's not abolishing the responsibilities of the film industry. It's probably reducing it as a department so that you can cut down your overhead and save money for other things. Just earlier, before this one now, we spent time debating what government should do to ameliorate the current food crisis. We just have limited resources at every point in time. So steps being taken by the executive to give effect to the more talked about Orosaye report. I don't think that this Senate should block that effort. When it has been done, I believe at the appropriate time, the executive can forward if it is necessary. If it is necessary. You can have a law say create something, but what is the penalty if it is not created? I suggest that given our commitment to cut down public expenditure and the fact that we all share the idea that we should rationalize multiple agencies so that resources can be better applied where they are needed most, it will be a sad day if we appear to do anything that will revise what the executive is trying to do in giving effect to the recommendations of the Orosaye report, which most Nigerians accept and expect the president to carry to conclusion.
I am one of the strong advocates of the implementation of Orosaye panel report, because the quest to implement this report has been on for several years since the report was first released. But it was during the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that the implementation is taking place. And I commend the president for that, because without implementation of this cost, these multiple agencies, even which functions override each other, will not be streamlined. So taking the bull by the horn, streamlining this agency is a right step in the right direction. But what is the clause there? The mover of the motion make it loud and clear. It's not against the implementation of the report. What is against is that let the rule of law be followed to the letter. That while this repealing is going on, this streamlining is going on, that we should formally be notified by the president informing us that decision or action has been taken on this implementation of this unnecessary panel report affecting the following agencies of the government, so that on our own part here we can repeal all those laws. Because if these agencies were merged and the law is still in existence, there will be conflict of interest. Some people will work in accordance with the law as passed by the National Assembly, not knowing that that agency itself does no longer exist as an agency, but rather a department in the government agency or the ministries that is affected. So, Mr. President, I agree in totality and I second this motion moved by my brother, Senator Onao, that we should follow it to the latter. We are in support of the action of the president streamlining this agency, but the needful must be done in trying to take steps to repeal those laws so that the work can be concluded once and for all. Thank you, Mr. President. I so submit.
Senator Dickett Lang, Senator representing Plateau Central. Mr. President of the Senate and my colleagues, I rise to commend the mover of this motion. I believe that the mover of this motion is also in tune of the streaming of MDAs and agencies of government. But what he wants us to know is that we cannot be working against the act establishing these agencies. And I believe that all of us believe in the streaming. And as soon as we are all in tune and a bill for repeal is brought to us, I'm very certain that this patriotic assembly, Senate, will read and fast track the repealing of the law. So the issue here is that we are with Mr. President, we are with the system, we all agree that there is a need to reduce. But if there is a law on ground, there is a need for us to repeal properly and on time to ensure that the civilization comes without any act that is against the law establishing the agencies. So I support it, and I think that by doing that we'll succeed, sir.
Because if we are going to scrap agencies that have existing laws, there's always need for us to repeal those laws and then enact another law that will tally with where they will be functioning, so that they cannot just be functioning in vacuum. Film and sensor industry, industry in this country need real laws that will govern them, so that against all this piracy and the rest of it. But if they are department as well, those laws can be enacted to go in line with whichever ministries they are domiciled to, so that we don't create a situation whereby we are just making them departments and they are not protected by laws, just as it is internationally. So I believe that what Senator Onao brought is in line with the direction of this government. Thank you, Mr. President.
Did you hear that? Oh yes, the state of despondency and frustration has craved the people of Nigeria because of bad leadership, especially that of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. First of all, they didn't give him this mandate. He stole it, and he stole their joy. He stole it and stole their food. He stole it and stole their hope. He stole it and stole their expectations that things will be better. He stole it and he swallowed it up. And now he is very sick and down. Nobody is there, let me tell you. Nobody is there. Your president is down. He cannot manage the situation. Has no solution at hand or in heart of any kind. And even the worst part of it, the people that are advising him, people that have taken over from him, people that he deems or sees dear to his heart, that will not sabotage him or whatever he's doing there. These people have no conscience. These people have no ideas. Nigeria is gone. and dusted. All right? I just want you to see it that way. That is the way it is. That's the truth of the whole matter. And we want you to please help us to share. What do you think is the solution? Solution is separation. Separate the wheat from the chaff. All right? We will not all die here. Separate people to live so that they can tell the story. Let Biafra go. That's what I'm saying in essence. All right? Thank you very much for your time on this very channel. God bless you all.